topic was producers and consumers. Okay, so the standard was explain the roles and impact producers and consumers have on the economy. The theme is most people around the world work in jobs in which they produce specific goods and services. And then the I can statement is I can understand that most people work in jobs in which they produce the goods or service. And then the rationale is it is important for elementary school students, social studies curriculum to provide information that will assist students in understanding the relationship between production and consumption. Exposing them to it at an early age will prepare them for understanding the relationship because they're going to encounter it for the rest of their life. The suburban elementary school class is self-contained with 21 second graders. There are 13 boys and 8 girls. The average age is 7 to 8 years. The student's reading level is developmentally appropriate. There is one student who has been retained. There's also a student that is on an IEP as well. I didn't include that, but the class has an ethnic mixture typical to a suburban setting with socio and economic class status being lower to middle. Motivation can be an issue with these students as well. Regarding today's topic, the relationship between production and consumption, awareness is high. Students interact or watch an interaction with this type of relationship on a daily basis, and they must be aware of real-world examples of production and consumption. The students will increase their knowledge on the relationship between production and consumption. And the objectives are to identify production and consumption with 100% accuracy, explain at least 2 advantages of production and consumption, and identify and explain ways production and consumption differ. And then the materials is the computer, the PowerPoint, the educational magazines that we're going to do I'll explain what we're doing here in just a second. The scissors, the glue, the projector, and the Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein is the book we're going to use today. I've decided to begin the class with a large group discussion, show a video, read a book, and then follow up with a small group discussion and project. And then I will prompt them with questions, see where they're at, see what the baseline is, and then I'll show the video, read the book, and then the PowerPoint we're actually going to do at the beginning to sort out the difference between producers and consumers, and then we'll break into groups and we're going to work on the collage. So I have some economic magazines that you guys are going to get, and then you will cut and paste and make a collage for producers and consumers and break it up into 2 different groups. And then those are the classroom expectations. And then at the end I will collect the collages, and that's what I will use for assessment. So now you guys are my 2nd grade classroom. Okay, producers and consumers. Who can tell me what all of these people are doing in these pictures? Can raise their hand and tell me. Teresa?
Shopping.
They're shopping. What are they shopping for? What does it look like?
Groceries.
Groceries. So who can tell me what's another name for them besides shoppers? Does anybody know?
Consumers.
Consumers, right. Correct. These people are buying or using goods, so they are called consumers. And then what are all of these people doing? Can raise their hand and tell me.
Working.
They're working. They're all doing something, right? They're all making something, working on something. So these people are called producers. They are producing goods. She is producing a meal, so she's cooking. He is cutting the grass, which is a service. Cutting hair is a service. Cleaning is a service. So a producer, what do they do? You can raise their hand and tell me. Cameron.
I don't know.
A producer, we just talked about it. They are all making something, or they are all providing a service. Is that what you were going to say, Libby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say our I can statement all together. I can understand that most people work in jobs in which they produce goods or services. So now we're going to watch a video.
children help see their family.
That's not my video.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh, that was his video.
Okay, that's probably.
we exited out.
Sorry.
Okay. I just copied and pasted.
Okay. Well, now it's back up.
Children
So.
help.
Yeah.
Just make it. I'll just copy and paste it.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm trying to copy and paste it, but it won't let me copy it. That's the thing.
Command C.
Yeah.
Command C.
or
Okay, I was doing Control C. Well, I was doing Control C and it kept bringing up the other one. There we go.
Compared to other countries, this country has perfect conditions for growing oranges. They have an advantage to produce oranges, which creates a good opportunity for international trade. The oranges have to be harvested and transported to the factory to be washed and squeezed. After this, the real exciting journey begins. The juice is transported to specially designed tanker trucks, which bring the juice to the port of Santos, Sao Paulo. Here, the juice is pumped into orange juice tanker ships. These ships then go to the US, Europe, or even Japan and Australia, where the conditions for growing oranges are less beneficial. In countries that import a lot and are therefore an important trade partner for Brazil, there are special orange juice terminals. In the factory, the concentrate still has to be processed to meet consumer demands. In the end, the consumer needs to buy it. Finally, the different juices will be bottled and transported to supermarkets, ready for you to drink.
Okay. So in that video, we talked about producers and consumers. So at the beginning, they produced the orange juice, and then they talked about how they get it all ready, how they do labels on it, how they make the orange juice, and then how the producers then are ready to produce the orange juice. So now we're gonna read a book called The Giving Tree, and it's gonna have some more examples of producers and consumers. Can everybody see it? The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. You can raise your hand and tell me some things that the tree is producing for the boy.
Shade.
Shade, what else?
Leaves.
Leaves. What did he do with the leaves? He made a crown out of them, right? And then what else? There's one thing that he eats from the tree. Apples. And the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat my apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." But the boy stayed away for a long time. and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But if you cut off my branches and build a house, then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone, my teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them. I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb. I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. So in that book, the tree was providing goods and services, and the boy who turned into an old man, was he consuming those goods and those services? Right. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna divide you guys into 4 groups, and you are gonna make collages from these magazines, and you're gonna cut out different pictures. And then you're gonna have one column that's gonna say producers and one column that's gonna say consumers. You're gonna divide it up. I can put it on the Elmo for you guys to see as well. And then I will collect those at the end. So I'm just gonna count you guys off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So everybody in group 1, come over here, 2 here, 3 in the back corner, and then 4 in this back corner. In just a second, I'm going to put the T-chart up so you guys know how to divide them. If you were first graders, you would need to know, or second graders. So for your chart, you're gonna have them looking at you like it's a hamburger, not a hot dog, or a hot dog, not a hamburger. And you're gonna make one line down the middle, and then one across, and one side's gonna say producers. And then one side's gonna say consumers. And if you guys can, try to find some examples in those magazines and cut and paste them on each side. And if you guys don't have enough time, it's fine. Or if there are. Oh, love it.
The word death is
Okay, and if this were my class, I would now collect them. I would give them obviously more than 2 minutes to do it, but I would collect them and then use that for assessment to see if they understood what producers and consumers were and what the difference between the two are. And then to close up after that, I would have brought my PowerPoint up and I would have said, what did we talk about today? And I would get some feedback to see if they understood. For my learning centers, for the first one, it's a mini book, it fell out. But it's a mini book and it was about community workers, and then they would just fill in the blanks on what like goods or services the community workers produced. And then the second one was create your own store. So they would have a list of goods or services their store would provide, and then they would do advertisements for their store. They would design the front of their store, and then there are hypothetical questions like, what if you ran out of one good or one service, what would you do? So it kind of gets them to analyze and critically think. Another one was producer and consumer sorting, and there's directions in each folder. So they would lay these out on their desks and they would sort between all of the cards on what a consumer and what a producer is. And then this one's a cut and paste, and I've got the scissors and the glue for it. So we just cut and paste. And all of these for assessment, I would just collect them at the end of like the center activities. So I wouldn't really, there's some things that they have guess and check things for, but some I actually want to see. I don't want them to get the answers and have them right in front of them. I want to see what they're thinking. And then for the technology ones, I did Google Slides, and my second graders do this, and they do awesome at it. So they would have an assignment assigned to them on their Google Docs, and then they would have 4 slides that they have to make, just differentiating between consumers and producers and provide pictures. My second graders do this, so they can do it. That's what the laptop's for. And then the last one is they would have an activity assigned to them through BrainPop, which my CT actually has done. And they would do some research on it, watch the video, and then they would do skits and record a producer-consumer skit. So that's what the cash register is. There's some clothes and different things they can dress up with. And they would just record it and submit it, and then I would use that and assess it